I'm Beth from My Tutoring Bee, and in today's video we're going to be talking about scale factor. I have a few examples, so let's go ahead and get started. In my previous video in my pre-algebra series, we talked about proportions and finding missing side lengths in shapes and polygons using proportions. So in this video, we're going to talk about something that is similar, but we're talking about scale factor. And so that is the number or the fraction that we are using to size up or scale down a particular polygon from one polygon to another. So when we are trying to find scale factor, we always want to use one of the measurements from the new image over one of the measurements from the original image. So let me show you what I'm talking about with this first example. Our directions say to determine the scale factor from triangle ABC to triangle DEF. So since they have listed triangle ABC first and DEF last, then that means this is the new image and this is the original image. So we want to just choose a side from each of those polygons that are similar to each other, and we're going to create this fraction of new over original. So in our new fraction, let's take a look at what we've got here. Now these, I can tell the triangle has not been rotated. It does look smaller. So we are probably going to see an R value between 0 and 1, and R is just the variable that we typically use for scale factor. Sometimes I think you'll see K as well. But in our triangle here, I'm just going to choose one of the sides and then find a similar side from our original triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this side DE, and I can use the name of my triangle to help me with that. Since D and E are the first two letters listed in that triangle's name, then I am looking for the first two letters in the original triangle's name, which would be A and B, and we can see that 16 corresponds to that. So we are going to use the new over the old, and then we want to reduce that fraction. So both of these can be divided by 8, so we get 1/2. So our R value, our scale factor, is 1 over 2, or 1/2. All right, in this other set of triangles, we again are looking at triangle ABC and DEF, and again we want to find those similar sides. So let's go ahead and look at that. I can see that this triangle, the new triangle, has been enlarged and rotated a bit. So we want to make sure that we have corresponding sides for each of these triangles. So I can see that our 90-degree angle is here. It's angle F in this triangle, and the 90-degree angle is angle C in this triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the 3 and the 5, so that shorter leg of the triangle, of this right triangle, simply because I don't want to have to deal with that fraction or that mixed number if I don't have to. So we're going to take the new side length over the old side length. We can't reduce this down at all. We are going to leave it as an improper fraction. So our scale factor is 5 over 3. Let's take a look at another problem. Now in this problem, we are not trying to determine the scale factor. We are given the scale factor and going to find the missing side lengths using that scale factor that we are given. Our directions say determine the side lengths of polygon W prime, X prime, Y prime, Z prime after a dilation of a scale factor of 2/3. So these little marks, they might look like apostrophes. We call this prime. So that is just the new image after a dilation has occurred. So we're going to be looking at this trapezoid, looks like a trapezoid, as our new image, and then this is our original image. And we're going to use a scale factor of 2/3. So when we're using scale factors, we always want to take the original measurements and then multiply them by whatever our scale factor is. So again, we want to make sure that we have corresponding side lengths. So because this is named with all of the primes, that should be relatively easy for us to determine which side lengths go together, because in our original trapezoid, WX is going to correspond to W prime X prime. So that's sort of helpful there in that naming convention with those primes. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at WX, which is 4 inches, and we're going to multiply that times 2/3, our scale factor. We want to create a fraction with that 4 by placing it over 1. And I don't see any cross canceling that we can do, so we're just going to multiply across the top. That gives us 8. Multiply across the bottom. That gives us 3. So our w prime x prime measurement is 8/3. And we want to include inches as well. So I started with that WX side length. I'm just going to keep going around this polygon, and we're going to go to XY next. So here we go with XY. XY, we're going to start off with 3 inches, and then we're going to multiply again by that 2/3. Create a fraction with that 3 by placing it over 1. We can do some cross canceling here on this one. So we wind up with 2 over 1, which is 2. So x prime, y prime is 2. And we can see that this trapezoid has not only been rotated, but it looks like it's been flipped as well. Since wx, we're kind of going from left to right. And here for w prime, x prime, we went from right to left. And then same thing here. We're kind of going around in a clockwise direction on this first trapezoid. And then we're going around in a counterclockwise direction on the second trapezoid. So let's go on to the next side length, which is YZ. So again, we're just kind of following the order that it is named. So YZ. And we have 9 inches to start off with. We're going to multiply by 2 over 3. Go ahead and create that fraction. We can do some cross canceling, so let's go ahead and do that. And then 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And so we're going to simplify that to 6. So we get 6 inches for y prime, z prime. And then our last side length, we've got ZW. So that is 6 inches. We're going to multiply that times 2 over 3. Go ahead and place that 6 over 1. We're going to cross cancel with that 6 and 3. 2 times 2 is 4 over 1, and then we just get 4. So we get 4 inches for that last side length. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful for you in learning all about scale factor. Like I said before at the beginning of this video, this is part of my pre-algebra series. I have a ton of videos that go over all of the different skills that you would see in a typical pre-algebra class. So if that would be helpful for you, the link is in the description below. And also be sure to like and give me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Thanks so much.